Malala Yousafzai's speech analysis. In order to achieve their goal, speakers use special tools called rhetorical devices. This allows the orator to make the speech more effective and colorful for the listener, as well as to convey the main idea as simply as possible. In addition, such techniques are used to attract and hold the audience's interest in the speaker, which allows the entire text to be heard. Using the example of Yousafzai, it is necessary to analyze what tools the speaker uses and how this helps increase her report's effectiveness. First of all, it is necessary to highlight the main idea of the woman. The fact is that in her native country, Afghanistan, the war has not stopped for a long time. This negatively affects all areas of society, particularly education, equality, and the economy. Separately, Yousafzai mentions the high mortality and rigidity that is becoming the norm for society. Despite the fact that the girl became a Nobel laureate, she will devote only a few words to this topic, focusing on the problems of her native state. The main reason for the report is the public's call for help in discussing the acute issue of the situation in the Middle East. The girl hopes that the world community will hear her requests and help end the war and the suffering of people. During the presentation, Yousafzai used several rhetorical devices to increase the impact on the audience. She also gives several examples from her own experience so that her words are not unfounded. The first rhetorical strategy should be the special repetition of one phrase several times. For example, Yousafzai repeats "let this" several times at the end of the talk. This is done in order to enhance the emotional component of the moment. In addition, this method contributes to the effective fixation of the request in the thoughts of the listeners, which increases the effectiveness of the end of the speech, focusing on the cry for help. Another tool of Yousafzai is a direct appeal to the listeners in a non-standard form. The girl calls the audience brothers and sisters, which unites the listener with the speaker. This method shows that all people are equal, like members of a family, which means that support and understanding are needed. In addition, such an appeal does not distract one from the report since a direct appeal implies a dialogue. The third strategy in Yousafzai's speech is to highlight short sentences consisting of several words. This method is one of the most effective because it quickly explains the essence of the text. Long sentences can cause the listener to lose the thought, but this tool helps to avoid this. In addition, this technique adds drama in the necessary moments, which enhances the perception of this topic. The fourth strategy of the speaker is to use quotations in the form of dialogues. This method allows the listener to personally experience the situation described by the speaker. In addition, the retold dialogue is a short and vivid way of conveying the brutality and horror of Yousafzai's situation. Thus, listeners do not need additional explanations since they already feel the atmosphere of the described life. Finally, the author uses rhetorical questions that are directed at the listener. Yousafzai asks the audience, "Why do leaders accept?" in order to get people to think about what she is saying. In addition, such a mechanism makes one feel empathy and feel responsible for the speaker. The combination of this and other rhetorical tools listed above makes Yousafzai's speech as effective as possible. In conclusion, it should be noted that rhetorical devices are the most important mechanisms for influencing the listener. The main purpose of the report is not only to convey the essence of the problem but also to interest and involve the audience. This is the most important task, but it is impossible without effective strategies. Based on this, in order for the speech to be productive, the speaker must use rhetorical constructions.